start with this new and powerful innovative comp plan. It's unlike anything else that's out there. We have our retail sales, a quick start bonus, the Unilevel commissions, sharing matrix bonus, the gym pool bonus, and of course our infinity bonus, which is 6 powerful ways to earn. Each time a product partner makes a purchase from your Weplicated website, you can earn 3 different ways with their 20% markup, which is typical in this industry, but then you get the 40% in commissions from the retail sales volume, and then also from that you can earn your quick start bonus. And so there's an additional earnings throughout that process as well. So if we had a retail product that sold for $54, less the wholesale price of $45, that would be $9 in earnings, plus an additional $16 for a total of $25 in earnings. Now make sure that you take note of this, that you must personally order enough product to be considered active and eligible to receive commissions from your Unilevel and the sharing matrix. So that's a total of 140 PV. The next part, let's break it down a little bit to show how the retail sales can help you with your quick start bonus. If you have a 140 PV with your personal purchases and 300 in your retail sales volume, then your total qualifying volume for the quick start bonus is 440. Thus, you have reached the minimum of 340 PV that is needed for your quick start qualification purposes, allowing you to earn a full 40% of the first order that the new personally sponsored sharing partner has made, as long as it occurs within the same month as your enrollment. So here's how it works and a little more detail on it. Each time you sponsor a new sharing partner, you will receive a quick start bonus on their first order as long as they place that order prior to the end of the calendar month in which they enrolled. So there's a one-time bonus for each newly enrolled sharing partner, and it will be paid as follows. When you, as the sponsor, have a monthly volume of the 340 TVQ, you're going to receive a full 40%. When it's less than that, you will receive 20%, your sponsor will receive 15%, and then the next upline receives 5%. So in this example, there's 300 PV on the first purchase. 2 of that is going towards the qualifying volume of the matrix and is paid through the sharing matrix. The remainder is used for your quick start bonus. So you receive 40 if you have less than the 339 TVQ. Your sponsor 30, and the next upline is 10. But you then will receive a full 40% if you have higher than 340 TVQ, making your earnings at $80. It's important to note here that our quick start bonuses and our retail bonuses are paid right away. So as soon as funds clear the bank. So next to our Unilevel, and this is moving on its own, we're going to pause again and go back. Apologies again. Okay, here's where we are with our Unilevel. This plan enables you to sponsor one front line of independent sharing partners, and therefore everyone you personally sponsor is direct to you. There's no width limitations to this plan, thus there's no limit to the amount of people that you can sponsor on your front line. Here's how our Unilevel looks. I hope you can see my pointer. We have you in this position sponsoring 6 people shown in the red. One of those people has sponsored 4, and one of those 4 has sponsored 4. and then one of the four has sponsored one, and so forth. So there's no absolute structure. You can build as wide and as deep as you possibly want in the Unilevel, recognizing that you get paid 5 levels deep, excuse me. So your first level, you earn 15% in commissions. Your second level is 10%. Third, fourth, and fifth level is 5% each. So the goal is to enroll a large number of frontline independent sharing partners and then encourage and help them to do the same. With the Unilevel, we have what's called dynamic compression, and this occurs to allow you to earn the highest possible commissions from your organization. As long as you are active, you can earn commissions from the PV of an inactive sharing partner's leg. Through this process, we have worked very hard to make sure we have a compensation plan that pays you absolutely every available commission that you are qualified to earn. In other words, we have worked to eliminate any breakage that would keep you from earning any available commissions. So the way this works, the inactive sharing partner doesn't lose his or her position during this process. The system simply pays an active sharing partner all the available commissions down to 5 full levels. And here's what it looks like. If we have you shown right here in the orange, and you have sponsored 2 people, that makes your level 1 showing in the blue, where you normally earn 15%. But all the gray people are inactive. And so your first level person in this illustration has sponsored 6 people, one of which is inactive. And so those people who are active literally pay you as though they are on your second level. And so you would earn 10% from each of them, and so forth all the way down. And so when you look at this illustration and you look at the purple, literally you're earning from 8 levels deep in your matrix, because there's where the levels of activity compress up in order to follow this illustration. The comparison between the two in the way your volume works each month, you're to have a 140 PV. 40 of that goes into your Unilevel, and we've already talked about that having no limit to width. And of course, you've seen the depth portion of that. It just continues to build as your organization builds. The matrix is an absolute structure that's a 3 by 5. So every level is added upon by 3. There's 3 on your first level. Each of those sponsor 3, which makes 9 on your second level. Each of those 9 sponsor 3, making 27 on your third level, and so forth, with an absolute volume we call PMV of 100, and that's no more or no less in any given month. The PUV in the Unilevel can vary. Here's how the matrix works, and it's a very unique structure. We're going to show it here with the first person at the very top, and when 3 people are placed in the matrix based on their enrollment date and timestamp. So we have position 2, 3, and 4 filling from the left to the right. And then it gets interesting. We want to stay balanced, clear to the top at all times. So the 5th person in the matrix goes directly under the 2nd person, and the 6th under the 3rd, and the 7th under the 4th, and then we go back and place the 2nd person under number 2, that's number 8 under number 2, 9 under number 3, and 10 under number 4, and so forth until that level is filled. Going back, the 14th person then goes under number 5, which also gives one person under number 2 on that level. And then the 15th person is under number 6, giving the third person their first person on that level, and the 16th person under number 7, giving number 7 their first person, and number 4 his first person on that level. So it's always fair and balanced. In other words, no one on any given level ever has any more than one person greater than anybody else on that same level. It's always balanced and fair. Again, a reminder that this is filled based on the date timestamp of when you enroll in the program. So those who are already there will already be inserted in the matrix when we launch this compensation plan. Some of you might be asking, well, what's that going to do for me if I'm just now learning about this? Keep in mind that there's some qualifications, and we will fill you in on that a little further in the compensation plan so you don't feel like you're being left out. So let's move on to showing just how this fills. Here's the first level, and then each person gets one, and each person then gets their second, and each person then gets their third. We now have that second level filled, and then we continue on giving each person in the second level one, and making one clear up to the top, and so forth. And it continues to fill that way all the way through the whole process until we have the entire level filled, and then we move to the next level and continue to fill in this balanced format. This is the illustration of how a matrix works. Some people say, well, if the company's at the top and there's 3 people underneath, how do I have my own matrix? That's very simple. Every person has 3 people under them, and each of those 3 have 3 under them, making 9, and so forth. And so there are multiple matrices within the entire matrix. So no matter where you are, a matrix is being built underneath you by everyone who enrolls in the program. Here's another really fun illustration. Everyone that you sponsor in the matrix, in the program, may not be in your matrix. As you see, we have clicked on 3 people that you have sponsored, and you're over here with your matrix with no one underneath you. Again, another question sometimes we get is, well, I want my people underneath me. Well, would you rather have just 3 people underneath you here, or entire matrix filled? Because the whole company is working to help you succeed and earn through this perfect matrix system. So a backwards illustration of that, we have your people who are outside of your matrix here. Keep in mind, they are still directly underneath you in your Unilevel, and your Unilevel builds just as we showed you a little bit earlier. Again, the matrix volume is always 100 PMV. The Unilevel volume is always a variable, meaning it could be anywhere from 40 on up. So if a person came in and placed a 200 PV order, 100 would be attached to the matrix because that's an absolute non-variable amount, with another 100 being in the Unilevel to be paid through the commission structure the way it's outlined there. Here's how compression works in the sharing matrix. Again, it's unique. It's the exact opposite or backwards of how we filled. If someone drops out, then the person who came in after them takes that person's place, and the person after that person fills in the next open place. And it just continues to back up the same way it filled until all positions are filled throughout the entire structure down as deep as it absolutely goes with active people. The matrix pays 5 levels deep, but it's opposite of what the Unilevel pays. So the first level is 5%, the second level 5%, third level 5%, fourth level is 10%, and the fifth level is 15%. The reason that those percentages are different is because there are larger numbers of people the deeper we go, and it actually creates more income for you. And because you are not personally responsible for all of it, then you can earn a greater amount of commissions by making the larger percentages pay out on the lower levels. So you can have one position in the matrix, but you can sponsor, 3 more and increase your PV by an additional 100 PV to qualify for another position in the matrix, meaning another matrix will fill underneath you. So every time you meet those qualification requirements, you will be able to receive another position with full payout as it fills. So here's what you have to do. First of all is stay active. That means place your 140 PV order, 100 going to the matrix, 40 to the Unilevel, and then get qualified by sponsoring 3 other people who are also active at 140 PV a month, and then help them to do the same thing. So they're building a downline, but it also fills the matrix. And when someone drops out, you have to continually maintain that level of activity all the way through the entire process. Someone drops out, it's your responsibility to either replace them or reactivate them, and you have till the end of the calendar month to do so. So if at the end of January, for example, someone dropped out, you would have till the end of February to either replace them or encourage them to be active again. The same thing happens with the people in your second generation. If someone drops out, then you help them to replace or reactivate that person by the end of the next calendar month as well. And here's how you give yourself a raise. We mentioned it a few minutes ago. When you have met the qualifications, meaning being active and sponsoring 3 who are active, and your matrix fills, you have $4,650 in potential income from that matrix. If you want to increase those earnings, you simply replicate your personal plan of action and increase your monthly purchase amount by 100 PV. We refer to this as the power of 3. And this is how you simply learn to assure your success. So you've increased your sponsorship. They've gone out and done the same thing. Now you've doubled your income with a total potential of $9,300 from the matrix. And you can do that as many times as you choose to do by the number of people you sponsor and the volume that you produce each month. The next aspect is our gym pool bonus. This is designed as a way for us to reward you for your extra efforts as you achieve more and excel in your personal organization. And so you're awarded additional bonus for each rank level that you achieve, anywhere from starting at Topaz and up to Diamond. So there's 5 separate gym pools. Each pool is comprised of 1% of the entire company volume, which occurs every month, and it's divided equally among everyone in the company who currently holds that rank. So each gem pool has 1% of the entire company volume attached to it for a total of 5%, which is dedicated to pay these bonuses each month for those who are qualified to receive them. And this is the way it works. We start at Topaz. The requirements are to have 4 personally sponsored who are active. For you to personally have at least 140 PV and at least 5,000 in group volume. There's no balancing, nothing more required than that. Once you do that, then you will equally share 1% of the total company volume with all other Topaz gem ranks. Ruby follows the same process, only the enrollment requirement is 5, the PV value is 200, and the group volume is 10,000. Sapphire, 5 personally sponsored, at least 340 PV for you personally, and at least 25,000 group volume. Emerald, 6 personally sponsored, at least 340 PV, and at least 50,000 in group volume. And then your Diamond is 7 personally sponsored, at least 340 PV and 100,000 in group volume. And then we go to a whole separate level, and there's another bonus attached to what we call Diamond Elite, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But that is 35 personally sponsored who are active, at least 540 PV, and at least 500,000 in group volume. Here's the way the Diamond Elite process works. There will be an additional 1% from the group volume of their entire downline paid to any Diamond Elite. If there's another Diamond Elite in their organization, those 2 Diamond Elites will equally divide 1% of the group volume of the second Diamond Elite's downline. The first Diamond Elite will continue to receive a full 1% of the entire rest of their organization. There won't be any further dilution from this point forward. If there's a third Diamond Elite in the same leg as the second Diamond Elite, then the second and third then will split 1% of the second Diamond Elite, and so forth as that continues to fill out. One other unique aspect, once you're at a certain gem pool rank, you will continue to receive earnings from that gem pool. And here's a quick illustration. Keep in mind this is for illustration purposes only. The company volume is at 2.5 million. Times 1% equals 25,000. So if there are 4 Topaz at 25,000 divided by those, 14, divided by those 14, they each earn $1,786. As a person becomes a ruby, and now there's 9 rubies and still 14 Topaz, the 25,000 divided by 9 would give you $2,778. You would still also get the Topaz percentage share. If more Topaz come on, then obviously that amount will decrease. It will not be the same every month. Same as if the company volume changes. Again, it's a percentage of that volume. But that continues all the way through all the gem rankings. So once you're a Topaz, you will always get paid as a Topaz plus any other gem rank that you acquire. The infinity bonus is another fun aspect. Once an independent sharing partner achieves the rank of diamond, and none of their upline has achieved that diamond rank yet, they will receive a 2% commission from the group volume generated by their entire organization. So that's clear down. If it's 30 levels deep, you will receive 2% of that until there is another diamond in that ISP's downline. At that point, the new diamond will receive 1% from their organization, and the first diamond and the new diamond will have an equal share of the remaining 1% of the group volume of that leg. And here's an illustration of how that works. Here's your first diamond receiving 2% of the entire organization. Then a new diamond joins the ranks. The first diamond continues to receive the 2% from all of his organization up until this second diamond's leg. So that's reflected in the blue. And the second diamond then will receive 1.5% from its entire downline, and the first diamond will receive 0.5% of all of the green diamond's organization. The third diamond comes along, they divide it 3 ways, so the third diamond will receive 1.33%. The other 2 diamonds will receive what they previously received, except now 1/3 will be added to the third diamond's organization. That dilution will only occur one more level down, dividing 0.25%. From there, there's no more dilution for the first diamond, but all other diamonds will continue to receive until there's 4 diamonds in their organization. Now let's talk about the power of 3. We've put all this together and we've talked about a lot of things, but as we move forward, it's very simple. There's just 3 things that you have to do and be aware of. If you do these, you will succeed all the way through our program. So it's easy as 1, 2, 3. First one is to get active. That means enroll and have 140 PV. 40 goes to the Unilevel, 100 goes to the matrix, and that needs to occur every month. This needs to happen by the end of your first month. Step 2 is to get qualified. That means to sponsor 3 other active ISPs, each of them having the 140 PV. That needs to occur by your second month once you've achieved the first month's active status. And then finally is to help build a team. And that's to help your personally sponsored 3 sign up 3 more to do the same process, and that's to each have 140 PV. Again, the time frames, it's by the end of month 1, and it doesn't necessarily have to be your first month in the program. If you decide to get active 4 months down the road with 140 PV, then you begin the process and enroll people because you're inserted in the matrix and an organization is building underneath you. Once that occurs, you're going to want to keep that position because you already have income coming from it. And this is where we talk about the part that I told you that we would mention further on. People who are already enrolled in the program will be inserted in the matrix their very first month. And there will already be a pretty significant organization built under those who have been in the company for a little while. New people coming in will benefit from the growth because as those new people who have not enrolled others or others who have not been active come into the program, all of that growth occurs behind the current growth. And so everyone will benefit as we launch this compensation plan if you become involved now, and it will continue on throughout the whole process because any new person coming in has the same guidelines or same requirements in the matrix. It's enroll, become active, sponsor 3, which places 3 below them, and help those 3 each sponsor 3, which means the matrix builds in a format where everyone has contributed the absolute minimum amount that they need to build the matrix out all the way. So everyone is contributing fairly and is building symmetrically all the way down as the growth occurs. And that is the end of our presentation. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for working with us as we work through a very scratchy presentation and an early presentation of that presentation. Hopefully we'll be able to clean it up. This will be available online. We'll make it available to you to watch again and again. Tomorrow night we will have an open forum question and answer session. And anyone who has questions, we're asking you to please email those in to us at q&a@beyoungth.com, because if we have a large number of people on the webinar tomorrow night, that we promise will go more smoothly, it would be very hard to have that many people talking at one time plus all the background noise. So please email your questions in right away, and we will be prepared to answer them tomorrow night. You should have a link to that webinar if you've registered. That will begin at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Thank you, everyone.